Your first job today is to find your pile of Sumi Nagashi prints, to take photos of them in the activity on Seesaw that says Sumi Nagashi. Make sure it's the Sumi Nagashi activity. Instead of putting your papers in your folders like we have been doing, your job is to take your Sumi Nagashi prints and then go find all of your other prints. So you should have every single paper that we've made that was a chalk print, a shaving cream print, or a Sumi Nagashi print if you were here all 3 days. Bring all of those papers back with you to the carpet. Before I do anything with my prints, I need to get back into Seesaw, and there should be an activity that says Water and Art Inquiry, Reflection and Wrap Up. Make sure you're in this activity. I know it's a lot of different places for stuff today. We are going to click on this activity, and when we add a response, let's look and see what it wants us to do. This just tells us what we did during this experiment, and here are the 3 questions I want you to answer. The first one says, think back on all the experiments we conducted. Which one was your favorite? So remember, we did the 3, shaving cream, chalk prints, and Sumi Nagashi. You're going to tell me which one was my favorite. My favorite was, and then it says, other than it being cool, why was it your favorite? So what made whatever print that was, whatever kind of technique, what made it your favorite print? The next question you're going to answer is, how were you like a scientist during the creation of these works? Think back to the very beginning when we filled out that Padlet about what a scientist does. What are some things that you did that are like what a scientist does in general? For example, did you make an experiment? Did you test different ideas or hypotheses? Did you have a failure? Did you share your results by posting them on Seesaw? So I want to know, what did you do that was like what a scientist did? And last but not least, this one's kind of tricky, but it says, explain what you know about surface tension and how it works. Remember, we talked a lot about what happens to the water when air is on top of it. Remember, we talked about how the water molecules bunch up really close together. I'm pretty much telling you what to be writing here. The water molecules bunch really close together because they don't like the air on top, and that's what makes them be able to hold things on the surface. And remember, we did talk about different things that can break surface tension. So it's kind of your chance there to explain. If you don't know, that's fine, you don't know, but hopefully you can explain a little bit about how surface tension works, since we use surface tension for these experiments. Once you have answered those 3 questions, you are going to hit the green check mark, and I will tell you what happens next. When you go back to your journal, now that you've submitted this activity, if you click on this purple bar right here in response to Water and Art, Inquiry, Reflection, and Wrap Up, if I click on that bar, and then I go up here in the corner where those pictures are, today, now that you're done with that reflection, you are going to be using your papers to create something. You are going to be the creator with your beautiful prints that you've made. So many different choices. These are just some examples. You could make a card, you could make a bookmark, you could make an envelope, and many kids like to make boxes. I'm going to show you in the classroom where you can find those materials. But a quick note on a box, and I'll show it in just a second too. This second slide here is a link to a YouTube video that is showing you how to create a box. So if you are interested, that video is there. And let me show you some other things that you can create. So here on the back counter is where you'll find some other stuff that you can use to be creative with your pieces. This is a whole bunch of scrap papers inside this bin. These are really helpful if you are interested in making a bookmark. So you can cut your paper, glue it to a heavier piece of paper. We've got some hole punchers here, and then you can use the yarn from the Fiber Center to make a bookmark or multiple bookmarks. So that's an option. This person this was for Halloween, around Halloween time, but you could do lots of different shapes depending on the season. this person used their some paper scraps and their pieces to make a weaving. I've also seen people make paper chains, origami. This is the paper here. If you want to fold this to create a card, you can make a design or just cut your prints and then you could give those cards to someone. And this is an example of the box. So when you make a box, you need 2 pieces of paper and they have to be the same size. So you can use 2 of your big papers or 2 of your small papers. This is the normal size for the box using the papers that we made. You can also make smaller boxes than this. So remember, the directions for the box are on that Seesaw activity. If I click on it in Seesaw, in the corner there where the videos are. Friends, those are your only options today. We are building stuff out of our beautiful papers. Remember, if you have a paper that you love, that you don't want to cut or do anything to, you don't have to, but you have enough papers that you can experiment and explore creating something out of your prints with at least some of your papers. If you do feel like you get done and you don't want to add any more things to the things that you already made, you are welcome to draw. That's the only other option today. We're not getting out any other free choice things. All right, friends, I can't wait to see what you come up with your amazing prints. I'll talk with you soon.